was shown on this night. Evidently, the exorcism